Hey babes, I'm Mother Dearest and welcome back to the Off-Script Parent. Today's episode is called Mind Your Language. And no, it's obviously not the episode where I clutch my pearls and tell you to stop saying fuck in front of your kids. I mean, seriously, you've probably seen my Instagram and no, that's not what I'm about. Honestly, that is not the language that is doing damage. What does do damage is the stuff we say without thinking. It's the throwaway comments, jokes, things we say about ourselves, and the things we say about our kids that stick. Society is so focused on policing swear words that they ignore the remarks that quietly turn into beliefs and childhood trauma. So today we're talking about swearing around kids, teens and their language, and why saying I'm so stupid is far louder than fuck. Section 1. Does swearing around kids actually matter? So we'll start with the big one. Is there any solid evidence that hearing swear words cause children harm? Short answer? No, not in the way people think. Swear words on their own don't do damage to children's development. I have never known anyone end up in therapy with their complaint being, oh, my mum said fuck a lot, and they're traumatised. I mean, think about it. If you've got childhood trauma, or anyone you know, have they ever mentioned that their parents used to swear too much? No, I don't think so. Kids don't absorb language in a vacuum. They learn context, tone, and intent. They learn who it's okay to swear with, when it's appropriate, and whether it's playful, frustrated, or aggressive. There is literally no solid scientific evidence that hearing swear words by themselves harms children's development in any way. Research in psychology and linguistics treats swearing as emotionally loaded language. It's not inherently aggressive or antisocial. The studies I've looked at show that children are very good at distinguishing between language that's playful and expressive or language that's hostile and directed at them. Where the evidence does get very clear is that language that shames, humiliates, or threatens is associated with poorer mental health outcomes for children. And that's not about swearing, that's about emotional aggression. In other words, a parent muttering for fuck's sake under their breath is not a risk factor, but repeatedly being called too fucking sensitive or a lazy little shit is a problem. If you think about it, if you stub your toe and go, oh shit, that is not the same as screaming and swearing at a child in anger. One is expression, the other is intimidation. So when people say language matters, they're right. They're just quite often focused on the wrong words. So when we talk about minding our language, the science does not support policing swear words at all. I will, of course, include my references in the show notes. Section 2. But what if my child swears? I don't know if this is breaking news, but kids swear. Even if you don't say it, they will. My boyfriend still doesn't swear in front of his mum, and trust me, he fucking swears at home. Jasper's dad has absolutely no idea what comes out of his son's mouth at my house. Kids don't swear because they're bad or being disrespectful. They do it for the same reasons we do. It's expression, emphasis, and emotion. Trying to fully ban that often just turns language into a rebellion and detracts from actual values. For me personally, I do not give a single solitary fuck if my teens swear. I care how they speak to people. So my teens saying, oh my fucking god, I can't find my other shoe. Absolutely fine. Couldn't give a fuck. My teens shouting, you piece of shit on Roblox, absolutely not fucking fine. And this doesn't mean that I don't have boundaries. It just means I have different boundaries. In my house, it's not never swear. It's they can swear when I feel they're developed emotionally enough to know when it is and isn't appropriate. I mean, can they consider time and place, the audience, and the intent? Probably don't tell your teacher that you can't find your fucking pencil, do you know what I mean? If you're the sort of person that swears, probably my kind of person. But think about it. I don't swear if I'm talking to their teacher at school, or I'm on the phone to my GP, or I'm in an interview. Like, we know when it is and isn't appropriate to swear. So once your child reaches that age, is there really a problem? If we look generally at language and what we say, it's quite common for young children to inadvertently ask someone if they're pregnant or, point out something that most people would not say because we know we might upset somebody. That's the same with swearing, really. And that's how real communication skills are built. Section 3. The language that actually sticks. Now this bit is the part that really needs to stay with you. Kids don't remember most of what we say, and I feel like that is quite obvious. But what they do remember is how we talk about them to others, how we talk about ourselves, and how we react when things go wrong. It's those off-the-cuff things that actually stay with them. Things like, you're too sensitive, you're just like your father. Fuck me, I used to get that all the bloody time. And I'd rather be like him than you, but thank you. Your hard work, or your sister never does that. These aren't remembered as sentences. They become the internal voice that your children perpetuate into adulthood. Kids don't have the cognitive distance to think, oh, mum was just stressed out or dad didn't really mean that. They think, oh, that must be true about me. And that's what actually causes damage. Section 4. Why self-talk is louder than swearing. Let's look at something I bet 99% of people are guilty of. Negative self-talk. When kids hear us say, oh, I hate my body, I look awful, I'm so stupid, I'm useless at this, just to name a few, what they are actually learning is how to speak to themselves, how we narrate our mistakes, and how to judge our worth. You can swear like a sailor and still raise emotionally safe children, but constant negative self-talk teaches them shame as a default language. When you talk about yourself being too fat, too thin, not this, not that, and your kids hear it, they start looking for those things in themselves, and they think that's how they should judge themselves. They internalise it, replay it in their own head for later. So first off, stop talking negatively about yourself. Not necessarily for your kids, for you. I don't care what you see on social media or TV, it is all bullshit, I firmly assure you. I would rather have grey hair, a bit of extra skin on my tummy because, hello, I have pushed out 4 actual human beings, or a few spots on my face than be an arsehole. I know who I am, I know what I look like, and what I look like has zero impact on what I bring to the table. And the same applies to you. You will make mistakes in life because who doesn't? Accept it. Look at why a mistake actually happened and deal with the fallout. Tearing yourself down is firstly pointless, who is that helping? And secondly, you're teaching your kids that when you mess up, you should blame and shame yourself. Start praising yourself and verbally marking those wins. I know this sounds really wanky, but it does actually help with confidence. And if you have actual confidence and self-esteem, that solves a lot of problems. Like, I don't care if you're passing a degree or remembering everything on your shopping list or the actual list. Say it, like, oh, I did good there. I have said that to myself. I remembered my fucking shopping list and I got everything on it. That is a win. So don't just ask your kid what they did well today or what they're proud of. Start asking yourself. Journal it. Talk to yourself while you're in the shower, in the car. Say it in front of your kids. Like, let them know what you did that was good today. And let them be proud of you as well. If you can change how you talk about yourself, your children will adopt these behaviours and in turn become more confident and self-assured. Just like you. Section 5. So what does mind your language actually mean? Honestly, if you don't like swearing, that is great for you and that is totally up to you. Personally, I like to sprinkle that shit everywhere. Should we say, oh fuck, around a 2-year-old who's repeating everything? Probably limit that. They aren't developed enough to know that Nana does not want to hear for fuck's sake when they drop their toy. I can't lie though, that video of, it's a fucking goat, is absolutely iconic and I've watched it far too many times. Does anything bad actually happen if your 12-year-old says shit if they burn themselves on toast? No, because I would probably do the same. Should I, or the internet, really give a rat's ass if my 7-year-old says, what her ass, as she rolls her eyes at me for making her go back and brush her teeth properly? Again, probably no, but they do. We've got bigger fish to fry when it comes to our language, guys. Off-the-cuff comments are far more important when we look at child development and behaviour. Before you speak, ask yourself, would I be okay if my child spoke to themselves this way? Or how would I feel if my child is asked why they didn't complete their work at school and they respond, because I'm a lazy little shit, well that's what my mum says. Words matter, they really do. I have a huge amount of childhood trauma, but I assure you, not a single drop came from regularly hearing the word fuck. Your kids won't remember every word you said, but they will remember the message it gave them. So if you swear, swear. If you don't, don't. Just be careful what words surround the profanities, because that language lingers. And the words that stay are seldom the ones people are complaining about. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. I can't believe how many people are actually taking the time to listen to me. I appreciate every single one of you, and I just hope on some level this is helping. I have actually started a Patreon. I cannot believe that. But a few people suggested that I do that. All the info on what you get for your cold hard cash is on patreon.com/theoffscriptparent. Just to give you a quick little, what you kind of get is like an exclusive monthly bonus episode. You'll get a monthly episode of the Ute Dem, which is an episode that's a combination of me and the kids, probably primarily Al, but the other kids will probably want to join in here and there, which should be a lot of fun. I mean, we started recording some today, so that's fun. You will get a sticker pack that me and the kids have designed, shout out on the pod, like things like that. So yeah, go have a look, check it out. If you want to get in touch with me to give me some feedback, a few people have already. You can find my email and my Instagram in the show notes, along with obviously today's references. But that's it for this week. So remember, some words do damage, just not the ones people bitch about. Much love, Mother Dearest.